Have a good day at work, Sally. Hey, Zach. I think for Reno Lock, when you're playing against Reno Lock with Reno Priest, you have Death and you have Psychic Scream. You don't need Entomb from Mal'Ganis. Keep these cards against Pirate. Even Luck's a good deck, yeah, craft it. It's worth playing. You wonder if timeout would be worth it in the list? Well, let's look at the screen, man. Is timeout in the deck? Can't tell. I don't know. My investigative skills have told me yes, timeout is in the deck. This sounds pretty good. I don't know, I think the thing is, like, there's a lot more reasons in Shaman that you shouldn't play this deck, right? But, like, the big one is that Shamans play Devolve, and some of them are stupid enough to run Hex, too. It's, like, a huge reason as to why this deck doesn't really find too much success right now. But I think that, like, a bigger problem is just, like, decks have gotten a lot better than when this was viable. So decks have a lot faster ways to get to their own combo. And there's a lot of decks that do really well into this whole idea of just playing a ton of small minions. Oh, I missed two, sorry. Decks have gotten a lot better into the idea of, sorry, not playing small minions, but playing around the minion combat-oriented damage that Anyfin needs to win through. So look at slow Warlock decks, like all variety of those have Void Lords, which are ridiculously hard to beat with Blue Gill Warriors and Old Murkai. And then there's also Obsidian Statue, which is really prevalent as well, which just heals your opponent every time you trade into one. So it effectively heals them for all the damage you would do, and then it goes ahead and destroys another one of your minions, which makes it really tough to make work. This pulls a Righteous Protector, which is funny. 5 mana, summon a Righteous Protector. Pretty good. Oh, you're immobile. No worries, man. No worries. What are we playing against? Like, this has to be the only matchup we can actually win, right? We're playing against a guy who's playing like a fun deck. So we should be able to win with our fun deck. Hopefully. Let's pull out our 1 mana 1/1. Seems good. That is what I like to call a high value call to arms. Freeze Mage still viable? It's playable. I wouldn't really play like straight up Freeze Mage though. Exodia seems a lot better to me. I mean, I guess that's just straight up better to do. Thing is, I probably want to do that, right? But I guess I don't have to swing it the right away. Just like bonk and then equip it. Because I don't need health. That's fine. Well, I mean, this deck was already improved, right? Like, Timeout's a good card in the deck. No joke. Like, any slow Paladin deck it's good in. The thing about Timeout is it's a lot better in Exodia Paladin because you can play Timeout with other good cards, like Emperor Thorson to enable your combo. And that's one of the reasons why it's better in that deck. The purpose of Timeout in this deck is to buy you time on like turn 7, 8, 9, where you need to make it to your Anyfin, or if you need to wait a turn or two to get like a War Leader out, right? Like, if you look at the situation we're in right now, we just haven't drawn War Leaders, and it's a big problem for us because we need them to actually do damage with Anyfin. Ow. Okay, we're just gonna win with the Hero Powers, 4 Horsemen. But like that's one of the huge issues with the deck, right? Is like pulling out the bluegills is really easy, but the war leader is like your only tutor for them is Finja, which makes it really tough to actually work. Like when you don't get the draws of Solemn Vigil or Finja, it's fairly difficult to find success with an early Anyfin. And that's another like main problem with the deck is that it just takes way too long to be online compared to other combos. If we just attack there then do this, we should win. Because we'll pull both of those, and then we can resummon the 3 charge minions. It'll be like a 6-1, 6-1, and then... What is 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 4 is 11. Yeah, a lot of damage. Alright, okay, or you know, I just draw one now. Okay, fun. Real question is, we still win. So get 8 plus. So it would be 6. Yes, we have exact lethal. 1 over. I miscalculated that. Okay, begin. And like that's one of the only matchups we're gonna do well in is when we're playing against another fun deck. And that's when you have to get the enjoyment of this list, because if you're queuing into meta decks, you are most likely just gonna lose. Where a lot of people just remember having very good times either watching or playing Anyfin Paladin. And when they think of Wild, they think of like old decks that they used to play, right? So one of the big things is they'll be like, oh, well, Anyfin Paladin, I mean, this was a super cool deck that I used to play. I want to see this played again. But then the problem is, trying to get good gameplay for it is kind of frustrating. Because with a lot of the other, like, not so great decks that I've played before, I usually enjoy just, like, straight up playing them, because they're usually pretty fun, and use, like, cool new cards, right? Whereas Anyfin Paladin is kind of just, like, not that interesting right now to me. Because you really just pray you get like a quality Wild Pyro/Consec against board decks. Otherwise, you hope that you just get like a ton of cycle and can draw towards your combo. And that you can win relatively quickly. It just doesn't really feel like anything's like that new to this deck for me, I guess. But I can definitely understand why people do want to see it though, because it is like a real trip down memory lane. And it's still like, it's not like the lamest deck in the entire world, right? Like you still just go face with like 30-40 damage with Murlocs in turn 10. Like that's pretty cool. There's no such thing as decay in Wild. Except next month there will be. I agree with you that it's funny though. Like people just, I don't even know, man. I don't even know in Wild what they do. So we're gonna draw the Vigil, play the Bluegill, bonk this Frothing real quick. So you see you later, Alligator. Draw some cards. Seems good. Hey, we did the draw one correctly this time. Smart stuff. So this is an example of a very good pan-out with the deck. We've drawn 2 Murlocs so far without Called Arms. We have Finja on curve to pull 2 more Murlocs. And then we almost have all of them. Like, this is just ideal, really, when you get the visuals. Like, this is probably the one card. It's one of the 4 cards. So there's 4 cards in this deck. Sorry, I guess I should say 5 that really unlock the deck from being a mediocre pile of garbage to being a decent, viable deck in certain matchups. And those 5 are just your 5 drops. Solemn Vigil, Called Arms, and Finja. In order of power level, it's probably like Called Arms, Vigil, and then Finja. Finja is kind of an awkward card to make work. So as you see here, like I have to just use a quality so I can even pull anything here. But when it does, it's pretty good because it draws 2 specific cards. That being said, it's not super specific because you can't always choose what you get. But it is still good. I'm just going to flash the plate now, see what we get. And play that. Like, the main reason to play this deck with the new cards is Called Arms pulls out all your 2s, which is great. It's just like draw 3, and then you usually get more draw cards from it. And then after you play Called Arms, you can usually trade with those minions to get Solemn Vigil to go off, which then makes you just cycle through an obscene amount of cards in no time at all. And that's one of the good things about it. And sometimes when you get panouts like that, you've cycled through so much of your deck that you're just waiting on turn 7, 8, 9, not doing anything for anything. Just really good, and that would be one of the reasons why timeout's super good, because then you can just do that. But that just means your whole strategy is contingent on you drawing 1 Call to Arms and 2 Vigil. Which kind of makes sense in this deck, because that basically is what it boils down to. That's the entire strategy. Is you draw those cards, and then you cycle insanely quickly, and then you can win your good matchups. Yeah, it's Patron, okay. I use Equality, so kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know if I want to ruin his fun yet. Let's just do this. Let's not ruin his fun yet. How much damage are we gonna have? We played all of the Murlocs, so it's gonna be 6 plus 6, which is 12, and then 5. So 7 plus 11. So we'll have 12 plus 11, 23. Okay. I can do this on Equality, because we always get Wild Pyro. Two swings we should win next turn. I think it's cool that you're like top 10 with this, and that's like one of the reasons why I'm playing it too. It's because I saw you post that on Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that's kind of cool. I'll try it out. But yeah, it's been like the same old for me, basically. Good game. Exact lethal, baby. Could have been... No, I think it was last game that I didn't sack with the 2-1.